Hi, this is Andrew Groh with the Missouri Society of CPAs. This is MOCPA Bar Talk, where we talk about the latest trends, news, and issues that matter to you the most. Let's get started. Hi, welcome. My name is Andrew Groh, here with MOCPA. I'm here today with Dave Hartley, CPA with Anders CPAs Advisors. Welcome, David.
Thank you.
We're here to talk today a little bit about technology trends of the future, some disruptive technology issues, things that CPAs in Missouri and elsewhere really need to know and understand to be able to see the tech trends that are coming in the future.
Right.
Yep. Welcome, David. Talk a little bit about robotic process automation.
Okay.
Now, this is one of the four disruptive tech pillars that your task force has identified.
Yep.
CPAs, everyone may have a little cursory knowledge of RPA.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, in your own words, and why now are we embracing robotic process automation and trying to get conceptually CPAs to really understand what it is and then how to use it?
Yeah, and I think once again when we talk about why this technology is important, and we can go back and talk about the core of the technology. But why this is important is because this could have a massive impact on productivity. So when we look at the cost, historically CPAs have looked at, well, how much time does it take to do something? And that's how we price it. As we look at technologies like RPA, they could dramatically change how long it takes people time to do things. So let's talk about RPA, because it is, if you don't know what it means, it's kind of intimidating. So within RPA, there are things called bots, okay? So a bot is basically a piece of software that does a task for you that you need it to perform. And in terms of, I think it's important, rather than the term bots, which I think is accepted and okay, I prefer to think of it in terms of it's really a digital assistant. So once again, RPA has come to fruition because the technologies have evolved to a point where the RPA technologies can really be impactful. So for example, let's talk about an example of RPA. When you think about how somebody spends their day, I think an easy way to think about it is to really think about how people work now. A lot of times when you think about it, okay, well, I'm going to go in this system and I'm going to do these things in this system. Oh, and then I have to take this data and I have to put it into this system.
Right.
And then I can do that. And then, once I have that, then I'm going to have to move it over here. And to this point, the only way to accomplish that was with a human.
Right.
What's happening now is that if it is a repetitive process that happens over and over, now there is ability to create a bot or a digital assistant that will do that for you. So you can now train a bot that looks at, okay, I'm going to go into this system. Every time I go in, I always look for these same things, and I take this data and then I move it to this system over here. So the bot has the capability to perform those same steps and then go and open this application and do the things that I need it to do. And then the data that results from that then can come and be put into this system. But all that happens systemically. When you think about, somebody comes in at 8 a.m. in the morning and they may spend the first 2 or 3 hours of their day doing something that is really not fun.
Sipping coffee, right?
You could start with coffee, which you would probably need. But going from that one system to the second system to the third system, a lot of us maybe grew up that way, but those are tasks that really don't add a lot of value and are not a lot of fun. And so when you step back and ask someone, look at your day, and what is it that you do that you really don't enjoy doing? A lot of it, those are perfect candidates because they're repetitive things that really don't require a human. If you could have a bot that would do it, rather than you spending the first couple of hours of your day figuring those things out, when you come in the morning, the bot, which can work 24 hours a day, doesn't quit, is always going to be there. By 8 a.m., they will deliver that result. So you come in, and rather than do the 2 to 3 hours of things that really don't add any value, you're at that point where now you can maybe start performing analysis and do the things that we as humans are really good at, and let the digital assistants or the bots, let them take some of these more repetitive things that you really, as humans, we don't add a lot of value doing it, and it's really not something that we enjoy.
Right. But I'm not going to go out, first of all, to PetSmart to get my bot. And I'm probably not going to go out to Office Depot or something off the shelf.
Yeah.
If I'm looking at what I'm hearing potentially is a custom solution, or at least at least, you can't just go somewhere and grab exactly what you need. How do I go about thinking about, do I need a bot for these tasks or this task? And where do I go to find out if I can get a bot for that?
And I think that's an important part. And when we think about the role that the MOCPA is going to perform, I think that's one of the things that gets really interesting. Because when you look at the RPA technologies and what they're capable of, I think from the standpoint of, how people are going to, I think your first point is really good, which is if you don't have a good use case, then these technologies aren't going to be that powerful.
Right.
You have to find those repetitive things that happen over and over again that are consistent. Once you found those, then I think not everybody needs to be an RPA expert in terms of not everybody is going to be developing bots. But what is going to happen is people are going to have to use them, and then you have some subset of your employees that are becoming more citizen developers in this space. So they actually can take these tools and they can use it themselves, where they're able to create and, this is what I do. I'm going to create a bot that's going to do it for me. That's not going to be all of your employees, but it is going to be a percentage of your employees that will be able to do those types of things and then help and take these technologies and allow them to grow. So we have companies that we're looking at that are taking these types of technologies and deploying them to all of their users because they're encouraging that innovation to happen across all the company. So everybody's got exposure to these types of technologies, which is one of the reasons why we as CPAs need to be aware of and understand the potential impact that these technologies could have.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of MOCPA Bar Talk. If you have any questions or would like to chat a little bit more about the issues that we discussed, just let me know. My contact information is below.